Digital silence, 2020 SIX's first major tech crisis, and the Verizon outage. Wednesday, January 14th, 2026. For millions of Americans, the day began as usual, but by noon, the digital world had frozen. The massive network outage experienced by Verizon, one of the largest carriers in the U.S., was not just a connectivity issue. It was a digital disaster that demonstrated how modern life is hanging by a technological thread. That dreaded symbol on screens, SOS. From New York to Los Angeles, Chicago to Florida, users looked at their phones only to see 3 letters instead of the familiar signal bars, SOS. This meant that smartphones were restricted to emergency calls only, severed from the rest of the world. According to Down Detector data, over 180,000 instant reports were filed at the peak of the outage, with estimates suggesting that more than 2 million users were affected throughout the day. How life grinded to a halt. Looking at the details of the news, we see that the outage did more than just block social media access. Emergency alerts. New York City officials warned citizens that they might have trouble reaching 911 and urged them to use landlines or go directly to police/fire stations in case of an emergency. Business paralyzed. For remote workers and professionals relying on mobile data, the workday ended prematurely. Competitors' strategic moves. While Verizon struggled, rivals AT&T and T-Mobile took to social media to announce that their networks were running smoothly, often with subtle jabs at their competitor. What happened? Cyberattack or technical glitch? The first question on everyone's mind was, is it a cyber attack? However, initial reports from law enforcement and outlets like ABC News indicated no evidence of external interference. Verizon management issued an official statement saying, "We let our customers down and we are truly sorry," acknowledging the situation and announcing that technical teams would work through the night. Compensation plan. Bill credits on the way. To appease frustrated customers, Verizon pledged to provide account credits, discounts. However, for users, the real question remains, is a few dollars in credit enough to compensate for hours of profound silence and disconnectedness? Conclusion. How much should we trust technology? This first major network crisis of 2026 reminded us that landlines and alternative communication channels, such as radios or satellite messaging, are still critical. In a world where everything is in the cloud and wireless, the momentary loss of a signal can push us right out of the modern age. For Verizon, this event was a major test of reputation. For us, it was a wake-up call to question our digital dependency.